The slap echoed louder than the engines outside, sharp and humiliating, and for a split second the entire first-class cabin froze. Two black twins, no older than 8, stared wide-eyed at the white woman standing over them, her hands still raised, her face tight with rage. No one had seen it coming. The flight attendants were still smiling minutes ago, champagne glasses clinking, when suddenly everything changed. If you're new here and you enjoy powerful real-life style stories that expose truth, justice, and unexpected twists, make sure you hit subscribe now. You won't want to miss what happens next. The twins had been laughing quietly, sharing earbuds, whispering about the clouds below. Their mother, seated across the aisle, had just closed her eyes for a moment after a long week of work. That's when the woman snapped. She'd complained before, about noise, about space, about those kids, but no one imagined she would cross a line so violently. She leaned in, hissed something about discipline, and struck one twin across the face. Then, before anyone could react, she slapped the other. The cabin erupted in gasps, disbelief spreading faster than fear. The twins didn't cry at first. They just sat there, stunned, cheeks burning, eyes searching for their mom. When she turned and saw her sons frozen in shock, something primal ignited inside her. She stood up slowly, deliberately, as if every movement was powered by restraint rather than rage. Her voice was calm, but it carried. She asked one question: "Did you just touch my children?" The woman scoffed, rolled her eyes, and muttered that kids like that needed to be taught manners. That was when the air itself seemed to tighten. Passengers began pulling out phones. A flight attendant rushed forward, trembling, asking everyone to sit down. The mother didn't yell. She didn't threaten. She simply took out her phone and made a call. "It's me," she said quietly. "I need you on this flight. Now." No one knew who she was calling, but something in her tone made even the loudest voices fall silent. The white woman, emboldened by attention, began to rant. She accused the twins of being unruly, of ruining her expensive ticket, of not belonging in first class. Each word landed like a fresh wound, not just on the family, but on everyone forced to listen. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom, announcing a brief delay. The plane taxied to the gate again. Confusion rippled through the cabin. Then the door opened. 2 airport security officers stepped in, followed by a woman in a tailored navy suit, her posture confident, her presence commanding. She scanned the cabin once, her eyes landing immediately on the twins, their red cheeks, their mother standing protectively in front of them. The suited woman's jaw tightened. She turned to the flight attendants and spoke softly, but her words cut through the cabin. "I'm the CEO of this airline, and I was told there was an incident involving children." A hush fell so deep you could hear someone swallow. The white woman's face drained of color. She stammered, suddenly polite, suddenly confused. She tried to explain, to minimize, to say it was all a misunderstanding. The CEO didn't look at her at first. She knelt in front of the twins, asked if they were okay, listened as they finally found their voices. Then she stood, straightened her jacket, and turned slowly. "There is no misunderstanding," she said. "You assaulted minors on one of my flights." Security moved in immediately. The woman protested, screamed about lawsuits, about rights, about how unfair this was. But her voice sounded small now, swallowed by consequences she hadn't considered. As she was escorted off the plane, the cabin remained silent, watching accountability unfold in real time. The CEO addressed the passengers next. She apologized to the twins, to their mother, to everyone who had witnessed the incident. She announced that the family would be upgraded, that counseling and support would be provided, and that a zero-tolerance policy would be enforced without exception. Then she did something unexpected. She asked the mother for permission to speak. The mother nodded. "I want every child on my planes to know they are safe," the CEO said. Her voice steady but emotional. "And every adult to know that hate has consequences." Applause began slowly, uncertain at first, then rising, filling the cabin with something warmer than justice. Hope. The twin leaned into their mom, finally crying, not from fear anymore, but from release. When the flight finally took off, the sky outside looked the same, but everyone on board knew something had shifted. For the twins, it was the moment they learned their dignity was worth defending. For others, it was a reminder that silence is a choice, and so is courage. As you think about this story and what it says about standing up for what's right, tell us in the comments, from which part of the country are you watching this video?